I did it. I'm fucking rich. No, that's what I would be saying if I stuck to all of my goals. If I actually was disciplined and if I actually put my head down and did everything I was supposed to. Didn't do that. Woo! Who would have thought? I know who would have thunk it. But yeah, no. Actually, yeah. Let's just look at where I'm at now. It's October 3rd, 2025. I believe the last video that I made on my channel was somewhere around May, shortly after my birthday, maybe around May 17th, something like that. And yeah, I'm shit, dude. I haven't felt the need to do so since, I guess. It's been 5 months. Tell the backdrop is completely different. I'm actually in a new place now. I know it's great. Things are moving. But I have, in all seriousness, I have been making a lot of progress. Been getting a lot of things done. Um, and honestly, yeah, everything kind of moved in a direction I didn't realize it would go. So I'm still doing the whole B2B stuff. you know, Initially, I think I phrased it as like B2B automations consulting, and it was working pretty well. Yeah. Anyways, I had my client, or I got a client, and things were pretty good. I think I think I got around 1,750 initially on top of a $500 monthly retainer, which I'm still collecting to this day. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So obviously I'm making like 500 a month just off of him. I could be making more, but given the way that things played out, it was my first client. It was more of a learning lesson, and I find that to be more valuable than whatever the money that I get and collect from it is going to be. Because the lessons that I'm learning from him and the lessons that I'm learning from all my fuck ups with this client is definitely going to allow for me to generate more money. And so, yeah, I don't know. To me, that again is a bit more valuable than making an extra 200 a month off of one guy. So now I'm in a completely different position. Thought I'd take the time to just, I don't know, fucking make a video and just, I don't know, speak. Um, yeah, so last time I made a video, I was working at a restaurant. Now I still am. But the difference is I put in my 2 weeks about a week ago, and it's currently October 3rd. I do have work today, by the way, at 2. And so yeah, it is 12:23, so I don't have much time. But so I thought I'd spew out a bit of shit here. But yeah, what I wanted to say was right now I'm doing more of like it's weird. I'm doing like a marketing thing. Well, it's not weird, but the transition to what I'm doing now was extremely unexpected. Like it was extremely unexpected. I had no idea I was gonna do this. Right now I'm working with the number one sales director in the entire country for Yelp. I got super fucking lucky, like incredibly lucky. So now I kind of have like a team, which is cool. It's primarily him. He's more of like a representative for Yelp, but based on me saying something about Yelp, you can kind of infer that okay, cool. What the fuck is he doing on Yelp? I'm not, doing anything with like my own business and advertising my own shit on Yelp. I'm actually doing that for other businesses. So it's still B2B, and I'm still implementing automation to a degree in there. I actually have like this whole. I hate Zapier, by the way. Fuck Zapier. Oh my goodness. But in the meantime, before I transfer over the whole system, basically, or build another system using the private API that Yelp provided me with on make.com, I have to use Zapier. Anyways, it's a whole system that uses like a chat bot, then it sends an automated notification of the lead that just came in, along with all of the project details, pretty much everything that the client needs, like the business owner. And all they got to do from there, instead of responding to their customer, is just pick up the phone, give them a call, and shit, they're all set. So it's a pretty decent system to immediately give them value. And yeah, what I'm doing is I'm marketing their business on Yelp as well. It's super simple fulfillment, actually. It's ridiculously simple. All I have to do is just tell them, hey, pause all your ads, anything that you do have on Yelp, if they are, using ads already. And then when you do that, I'm gonna have my CS team, my customer service team, transfer all of your shit from your dashboard onto my dashboard. Once it's on my dashboard, from there, I can pretty much play around with the account, do whatever I need to, alter your recommended budget, or yeah, alter your max budget for your CPC campaign. And then from there, yeah, you'll just start seeing lead flow. I don't have to do shit, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, fulfillment is incredibly easy. By the end of the month, there are certain keywords that I will plug into like a trending keyword booster. I don't know if that's similar to like Google SEO or not, because I know keywords are a pretty major factor in that regard. But if it is, great. If not, cool. Then yeah. Anyways, regardless, I have only a few things that I have to do for fulfillment. And then personally, what I do is I also do I kind of compile a monthly report at the end of the month. And what that does is just kind of shows like, okay, here's the value that I provided. Here's how things are going. And, you know, if things are going to be going better, worse, whatever, it's better that they kind of have an understanding based on aggregated market data where the trend is going to kind of go. Thankfully, I don't have to look at any of that data. All that data is provided to me by my strategic market analyst, also known as the #1 sales director in the entire country for Yelp. So, again, like I said, super fucking lucky. And yeah, that's that. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Things are going fine. In terms of my income, income is, well, I mean, it's the fucking same, dude. It's pretty much the same. I had a pretty good meeting about 2 days ago. That I got off of with a potential, I guess, a potential client. Basically, I would say for the most part, it felt like I closed him. You know, the call went absolutely fantastic. Everything seemed to go pretty damn well. And yeah, I think we pretty much closed him. I'm just gonna go ahead and follow up with him this afternoon on my lunch break at work. And then yeah, just kind of see where his mind's at, because he just wanted to gather his thoughts. We didn't want to put too much pressure and, you know, handle that objection. Oh, why do you need to, like, you know, fuck it, dude. All right, cool. Like, it's all good. If you need to go gather your thoughts, go gather your thoughts. I'm not in a rush to make the sale, although maybe it would have been a better idea to do so. That's not where I'm at. I'm not in the position where I'm like, I mean, I am pretty desperate, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not like, all right, no, wait. You know, that's not an objection that I feel I need to handle right now. So we didn't. And yeah, again, that was like 2 days ago. I sent him an email because he kind of he briefly mentioned a marketing agency, and the current client that I have actually went that route. They went with a marketing agency that built them a website, claimed they were gonna do all sorts of shit. He spent like 10 grand on it, even pulled out a loan for it. And what ended up happening is they built him a website, yeah, but ended up just being kind of dog shit, and everything else fell through. You know, he tried calling them months and months and months, and well, like for about 3 months, you know, they were in communication, kind of being like, oh yeah, don't worry, you'll see results soon, or oh, don't worry, this is gonna come through soon, oh, don't worry. And then eventually, you know, a few months later, just radio silence, all communication pretty much dropped. So was just kind of using him as a case study, like, yo, here's what happened because he went the marketing agency route. With me, like, I don't want to fear monger, and I don't want to say like, yo, this is what's gonna happen. But do your research. Make sure you're dealing with a credible marketing agency, because if not, I don't want you to end up like this guy, you know. Whereas with me, it's pretty much a guaranteed path. This isn't some third party bullshit. I mean, to a degree it is, but I'm directly contracted with Yelp through their partner program. I'm a Yelp partner, for fuck's sake. I have access to the #1 sales director in the entire country. I have all of the resources I need to ensure your success. Granted, it's only on Yelp. It is success via leads. And if you can generate more leads, regardless of whatever the platform is, you generate more money. He has the technicians to do so. It's not something that he's like, kind of like, I can't handle too much work right now. You know, no, it's nothing like that. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm just doing kind of a marketing thing right now. It's marketing and still automations, and then the focus isn't on automations right now. It should be, but my primary fulfillment is obviously the AI auto response system, as we call it. And with the auto response system, again, it's taking a new lead, it's looking at all of the project details, it's formatting the name to obviously just be the first name instead of first and last, so that we can just kind of make a very warm but quick and decent template of a message that AI can then fill in all the personal details that it needs to, and then make it look like a very personalized message to the customer within just a few seconds. After the customer contacts the business page, about needing, let's say it's a garage door replacement, just random. Let's say it's garage door replacement, right? They need it ASAP. Their zip code, they're in fucking what? They're in. Let's just say for the sake of argument, they're in Palm Springs. I don't know, 92262. That's the zip code of that shit. Um, it'll display that. Any additional project details, for example, like, oh yeah, it's making a lot of noise. It's creaky. It's kind of fucking, I don't know. Any additional details they provide. Basically, it'll take all of that. The AI is going to compile that information. I cherry picked a bunch of examples to train the AI on. And so now it kind of just has a bunch of example data of, okay, this is how I want it formatted. Here's how I want it to obviously, be conveyed. And here are the required questions or things that I want you to ask. Always inquire about a phone number, or if there are any additional things that you may want. So for example, let's say it was a garage door replacement. Did you want to switch to a side wall mounted one, or is there a specific garage door theme that you had in mind, a material, etc., right? um and so yeah, it basically just is a very decent conversational AI. Before, I was using whatever Zapier's provided AI was. I think it was like GPT 4.0, maybe 4.0 mini or whatever. And recently, because there was so many fucking errors with whatever reason Zapier's AI, even though they're just using OpenAI's chat module, but whatever. I don't know. I fucking hate Zapier, dude. Even though that was the case, I just kind of used an error handling module. So there's two paths. If it's success with Zapier's AI using the same exact prompt and train data, great. That'll go down the normal path that's supposed to create the message, send the message to the customer within seconds, and then send an SMS notification to my client. But if not, then the error handling negative path, or if a result was an error, then it's going to go down another path that uses OpenAI's native module instead of Zapier's kind of like attempted weird shit, right? It's just going through a middleman for no reason, which altogether I can kind of change. But the AI module by Zapier is completely free. The token cost is nothing. Not to say that it's operationally expensive as is, but if I can kind of cut costs wherever I can, why not do that? So yeah, if it's able to do that, great. And if it's not, whatever, fine. I'll bite the bullet on the operational cost of, however many tokens it uses for that. It is what it is. Again, pennies, but whatever. And then yeah, then it'll just go down a path that's structured the exact same, just with the additional error module, error AI module, if that makes sense. And yeah, so anyways, we're taking that whole system, moving that over to make.com. More familiar with it, hyper customizable and relative to Zapier, a piece of fucking dog shit that has an abundance of native integration, hence the reason I'm even using it, because I didn't have access to a Leads API. But the caveat with that is that, dude, there is no customizability. With native integration means restriction, which I didn't think would be the case, right? I thought that would be opposite. But no, not at all. So anyways, now I have access to the API. I have a whole list of endpoints that I can make, and it's going to be significantly more customizable, way structured, way fucking better. Everything's going to look spiffy, to say the least. Splendid. Yeah, me and the homies are bringing back Splendid, by the way, so hop on that shit. But yeah, ultimately everything's going well. Everything's going great. I have a fantastic product on my hands. That Zapier workaround was fucking great for the time being, temporary, but it's still a system that was nonetheless apparently impressive. Um, the sales director was impressed. The sales director showed his boss, and he was the number one. I don't know. They're both the number one in the fucking country in Yelp for their shit in like 4 departments and a whole bunch of shit. He was even impressed. And I'm like, really? Like, this is a super shot. Again, this isn't to be like braggadocious or like, oh, I just whipped this up. No, like genuinely, I'm like over here like perplexed. I'm like, dude, I just noticed within your guys's your like I was going through all the Leads API and all this shit, all the API integration, and I noticed that there was a Zapier integration thing within their whole documentation. I saw like the word Zapier and I was like, okay, maybe there's some sort of Zapier native integration that I might be able to use from like a native like a Yelp module. And there was. So I was like, oh shit, cool. Built a whole system surrounding that. Obviously it was my first time using Zapier, but still it was relatively intuitive, as any no-code builder really is, to be honest. And Yeah, once you know one, I feel like you know them all. But yeah, it just kind of worked out. Everything was super perfect. It flowed very great. Everything ended up just working perfectly, and apparently it was a super impressive system. And I was like, okay, fuck yeah. I mean, that's cool. Like, hey, I'll take the brownie points, even though I don't feel like I deserve it. Um, I'm not gonna develop like crazy imposter syndrome over it, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, I don't feel like, I don't know, like it really isn't that impressive. But whatever, nonetheless. Anyways, so yeah, now that obviously that temporary solution's there, I finally have access to the private API. I'm able to move everything to make, which I repeated like 4 or 5 times already, but I don't know. I'll still say it again. And yeah, so I don't know, dude. Everything's exciting. Now I'm doing cold calls and all of that shit. Oh my god, it's not painful. I'll release a video of one of my cold call experiences. I just recorded not that long ago my last cold calls, and I booked like 3 meetings in the fucking recording, and it was a short recording too. I called like 5 businesses or something, and I was like, "Yo, is Aiden from the automation?" And yeah, Loki, they booked meetings. I don't know. My hair is looking fucking. Yeah, shit, dude. The camera's reversed, so I'm like, I don't know where this strand of hair is. Like, dude, holy shit, I got tism out the wazoo, bro. But yeah, damn hairline. Ooh, hey, disregard that shit. But yeah, bro. Or bro, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited for what's to come. I'm super. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. I have a crazy opportunity on my hands. It's just, it's no longer, oh, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I got to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. What's my product? How do I do this? It's weird because it's no longer like that. And that used to be my excuse, right? That used to be such an easy excuse I can gravitate to. I don't know where I'm going, or I don't know how to do this. I have so much to learn. And yeah, I always have so much to learn, but I know what to do. Now it's just about reaching out to as many people as I can, booking as many meetings as I can, and slowly refining that lever. Being able to pull that lever enough times and do it at such a high quality that I can increase my booking rate and then ultimately increase my closing rate. That's all I need to do. Product fulfillment is simple. It's the same thing. Nothing's going to change. And if it does change, they are slight alterations in the pre-existing system and its workflow, and nothing else. If anything, I can branch out into different departments of marketing like Google ads, or maybe even social media ads, but Yup kind of touches all of those bases, so it works out. Plus I get a pretty good revenue, like a rebate off of the revenue, um, that I bring in. So for example, let's say I have a business spending $10,000 in ads, which might sound like a lot, but depending on the actual business, like what they do, for example, like plumbers or electricians, even, that's not a lot. Like it's a good amount, and you're definitely gonna get a return on your investment, like a lot, but that's still not a crazy amount. Some of these max CPC budgets are like 40 fucking thousand dollars, bro. $60,000. I don't even know that was a thing. So it's pretty insane. But anyways, I get 10% of that right now, just base flat. That's if I'm only bringing in 5,000 per quarter. If I bring in 10 or 15,000 per quarter, then it's 12.5%. If I bring in more, then it's like 15%, then 17.5, then 20%. It increases exponentially, dude. It's pretty insane. Exponentially is not the right word, but anyways, it increases like slowly. So the more revenue I bring in, the more money I make ultimately off of that revenue and the rebate, and it's solid. Plus, on top of that, I have 20%, a 20% service fee of page maintenance, and also the AI integration and maintenance. So basically, any budget that you have, it's 20% of that, which is cool because it scales based off the business. Let's say you have a business only spending $1,000 in ads, which isn't shit, but depending on the business, maybe that might be a little better than some others. Well, I mean, that's $200 just from that. So in total, they're paying $1,200. But again, let's say we're talking about like a $10,000 max budget, like a max CPC budget campaign, or cost per click. Yeah. Then that's $2,000 just off that, just off of the service fee. pair that with the rebate that I'm getting, right? And let's say, if they're spending 10K and I already have 5K coming in basically, and that's just per quarter, that's not even per month. I'd feel confident to say, let's just say 15%. That's 15, that's 35%, whatever their shit is. 35% per month, might I add. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like that's an insane opportunity, and I don't know, dude. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's just about putting myself out there, booking as many meetings as I can, and actually talking to as many business owners as possible. And yeah, it's cool because it can help most business owners. Just sucks because a lot of them are like the ones that I want to help are more like small businesses. Initially, that's what I wanted to do. People who aren't gonna have like the immense amount of capital to utilize our systems. Um, well, I mean, people who aren't going to have an immense amount of capital to just throw away at shit. No, it's like I'm kind of like looking for very specific businesses that fit a very specific criteria. My standards have increased tenfold to make sure that I'm getting the highest quality. But with that, it's also a little more difficult to get clients. I don't know, still finding the Goldilocks zone, but yeah, it's cool because one client can completely change my life in terms of income, straight up. It's pretty insane, actually. So yeah, anyways, that's where I'm at. Just thought I'd make a video kind of I don't know, I was a little bored. I have so much shit to do and yet I still found a way to dilly-dally and do nothing, you know, forced to lock in, born to dilly-dally, but it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Uh yeah, dude. I don't know. shit's been uh shit's been fine though. Ah, shit's been fine. There's a lot of things on my mind. A lot of like little stressful things, but at the same time, like it's all gonna work out. I'm not tripping over like all the stressful things. Like stress is natural. Not stressing all the time and about everything. That's not natural. But having something in your life that is a little stress inducing is going to be a bit normal. That's why we strive for success. That's why we strive for financial freedom to at least mitigate the amount that you are stressing. So at least that's how I kind of look at it. I don't really stress about anything. I don't worry about anything. And to a degree, it's not that I'm just some super nonchalant stoic. It honestly, I would say that negatively affects me. Sorry, I thought somebody was knocking on my door. Are they? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, it's not that I'm just some like nonchalant stoic or anything like that. Far from it. Feel a lot of emotion, but I just it sucks because that more or less negatively impacts me because I feel like I would do better if I was stressed. I would do better if I had this pressure, and I do. I just don't recognize it maybe. And so this fire isn't being lit under my ass that I feel is necessary to, necessitate the potentiality that I do have. And I don't know. I just feel like the unrealized potential that I have is just kind of getting washed away because of my lack of discipline and because I'm not doing what I need to do. And it's not like woe is me or anything. Like it's completely my fault. Um, but I think the best thing I can do is not sulk in it, and the best thing I can do is to admit that it is my fault. It's not. I hate when people are like, "Nah, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't." Listen, man. Admitting something is my fault is not beating myself up over it. That's not. It simply isn't. Beating myself up over it is sulking and trying to pull this whole woe is me pitiful bullshit about, oh yeah, I'm just so stressed about this, and I have just so much going on, and I can't take it. I can't, there's all these like words and shit that are taking power away from you, bro. All of it. I can't. Oh, it's so stressful. It's too much. I'm overwhelmed. All of these words take power away from you. And so I just don't really see a reason as to why I would subscribe to that even mentality of allowing any of that bullshit to intervene with my current mental state. Not to say again that I'm super stoic and my mental reinforcement is insane, or sorry, my mental fortitude is insane. Like that's not to say that. It's simply to say that I'm not going to subscribe to some sort of you know, I don't want to say ideology, but like a mental state, right? A belief system that's going to allow power to be taken away from you. That doesn't make any sense to do. Um, and I feel like I have to be reminded a lot every single fucking day because I forget a lot of the time. I forget, and I end up saying some dumb shit like, "Oh, I'm tired, bro. Shut up." Like it's okay to be tired, but shut up. Shut up. Who the fuck cares? That's not like again. I don't know. People seem to take that like so wrong. Not me telling other people that, but me telling myself that. I would never tell somebody else, dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. But I would tell myself that, and that's fine. That is fine. I don't feel like shitty because of it. I don't feel like I don't give a fuck, dude. You need to be hard on yourself to a degree. Because if nobody else is going to be hard for you, hey yo, then you need to be hard for yourself. What the fuck? Yo, this shit sounds gay as hell. Anyways, you know what I mean though? You need to be hard to yourself. Man, what's wrong with my brain, bro? Because nobody else is going to be. Nobody else is going to really light this fire underneath your ass unless you have these external fucking things that are going to motivate you, like your landlord evicting you. Then pretty good external motivator right there. I'm not gonna lie. But a lot of things, a lot of people aren't intrinsically motivated by anything, and it sucks. Really sad. Everything is an external motivator for them. Like, yeah, I don't have enough money to pay my bills. Yeah, I have children and I have to, fucking make sure they survive. Um, all this bullshit. Oh, I want this, I want that. None of these things are intrinsically motivating. And yeah, I can make an argument that everything to a degree is externally motivating, right? You find motivation in many of these things that are materialistic or even just, I would say other people is external, right? Like, oh, I want to provide for my girlfriend. Okay, that's an external motivator. And although there's a certain emotion that may intrinsically push me and move me to, engage in that behavior because I feel sympathy or because I feel love or because I feel care, I would still argue that a primary portion of that is still an external motivator. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking talking onto my ass. That's what I usually do, even though my mouth's up here. And I don't know. So, yeah, what up? So yeah, cool. Got you. Everything is going great. I have a team behind me. I have a partner, a business partner, which is dope. They're not the CEO to my company, which is cool. I'm not gonna alter my structure for any reason. Still sole proprietorship LLC. If I were to alter it, I would have to deal with it like different tax structures and shit, and they would have to sign like a K1 and or maybe it's a K2. I'm pretty sure it was a K1. Um, and just a bunch of other shit. And also, it puts me in a legal, bit of a legal chokehold in certain situations where if a certain scenario were to play out, I'm more at risk for losing things than I need to be. It's more of a liability in my position, to be totally honest with you. Not to say that I have things that I'm really super liable for, but to put somebody in place where they have equal authority within the business of me, is not a smart idea to do when you're trying to scale something up. Many times where people get fucked over. Not saying that's going to be the case, but you really truly never know. Again, I don't believe that's going to be the case. Not even a single fucking tiny amount, like 0.0001. It's infinitesimal the chance that is that anything like that would ever play out. But again, like it would be stupid for me to not take precaution. It's like me diving head first into literally anything and not having at least some sort of plan B. And that could be good because this is my only plan. Plan A. This is my plan. Boom, fire lit under your ass. If you're the type of person that has that motivates you a lot because you have no other fucking plan. You need to make this work or it doesn't. It's either it works or it doesn't. What's it going to be? Some people need that. Um, you know, myself included to a degree. But yeah, I don't know. I find it sometimes idiotic to put myself in a position like that. I always want to have a plan B, maybe not a plan B that's going to be really, really good or like that I'm even, allocating 10% of my focus to or anything. No, it's simply a plan B that is 1% of my focus, 1% of my resources, 1% of whatever, so that I'm not wearing myself out, so that I can use every fucking inkling of my willpower, motivation, anything that I that I have that I can muster up to push myself for that plan A, the thing that I want to use. And if unfortunately I have to drop that plan B because I know that that 1%, last 1% of my being is required in order to realize whatever it is that is my vision of plan A, then so be it. Then I'll do that. That is a risk that I'm more likely than not willing to take. Because there's nothing that I can do to truly fail and put myself in a position that won't work. Everything will work. Everything I do will work. That's not a braggadocious statement built from, stemming from like delusion. That's just simply what it is. I think that's the case for everybody. It is. It's not. It's not that I'm unique or that there's any difference between, you and I, or I'm probably talking to myself because nobody's watching this, and these are made for me anyways. But there's no difference. There is no difference. It's simply just a state of mind, maybe a state of consciousness. Although I don't know what consciousness is, and that's an even longer conversation. But I don't know. It just there's a certain perspective that you need to view the world through, a certain lens that if it is intact, or if you fragmented all these pieces and brought it together to build a coherent worldview that views it through that lens, that is good. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, as you can tell, all these videos are delightfully structured to no degree, and just kind of ramble on for 30 minutes about whatever comes to my mind. Enters and immediately comes out, and yeah, sounds like buns. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Gotta get ready for work. Yeah. Got a little more acne, I think. Yeah. I've been doing good on supplements. I actually started taking more supplements. I don't know if I even ever touched up on my supplements, but my morning routine's pretty dope. Didn't do it this morning, unfortunately, because I had a meeting at 9. Ended up no showing. Great. But it's fine. But usually my morning is just like I wake up because my girlfriend goes to work at 8. Well, she has to be at work at 8. She typically leaves the house at 7:50. Oh yeah, we moved into a house, by the way. So yay! But it's her parents, so it's not like I'm fucking, I have a house or I'm paying a mortgage, or Anyways, but she wakes up, and then yeah, so I kind of just like wake up either with her at 7:30, or I lay in bed like a fucking slob until like 7:45, 5 minutes before she has to go, and then I stumble around trying to get everything together and put clothes on my body and do whatever I need to do before heading out, and walking around to the car. And yeah, then I just drive down to a local park. It's really close. It has a nice bench that I can sit at, that there's a lot of sunlight that it can just be beamed into my fucking eyes. Not as good, not even remotely close to as good as the last park at my old place, where I was previously recording these videos, but it's something, and at least I'm getting my sunlight. There's a trail right next to it, so if I truly want to get a lot of steps in, great, I can do that. And that is helpful, but I pace back and forth here quite a lot as is. So just getting that prerequisite sunlight to make my morning as good as possible, and then pacing back and forth at home while using my noggin, usually that's it's fulfilling those two. Come home, take my supplements, electrolytes, creatine. I'm double dosing on creatine, so like 10 grams instead of the 5 now. 5 grams before I go to sleep. Kind of helps with sleep a little bit. I want to invest in glycine that help with like bladder control during the night. Not that like I have to wake up in the middle of the night and take a piss every night, but if I, for whatever reason that I do, because sometimes that does occur, that'll help out. So that's cool. And also apparently it'll aid in my sleep anyways. I started taking magnesium L-threonate. That was fire as fuck. It actually really helped my sleep. It really helped my cognition, or at least I feel as though I did. And if it didn't really do that, placebo, great. I'd rather gain positive effects from placebo than to, be like, oh, it doesn't work, and it be a placebo and then not get any positive effects. You know what I mean? Yeah, again, the mind controls everything. Even if it is a placebo, the mind is giving me those actual genuine positive results, and I'm still getting an increase on my function. So I don't give a fuck. And then I'm taking a pretty good multivitamin by Ecovision. It's like, yeah, it's pretty damn solid. Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm a little addicted to Celsius now instead of the coffee that I was drinking. I still have like my bag of coffee. I make my coffee here and there, but it's primarily Celsius. Gotta start my morning with a nice 200 milligram can of, and yeah, that shit gets me going. along with another stimulant that I will not name, but it gets me going, dude. It gets me going. And yeah, dude, I don't know. So my mornings have been pretty good. Kind of just hop on. Previously, I was doing a lot of cold calls for the past like 2 3 days. I haven't been doing that because I'm a lazy slob. And yeah, I don't know. I've been having some mental battles that I've been going through. I've been praying a lot for it too. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah. Kind of rekindled my relationship with God a lot more than I previously did. So that's really dope. We're on a cross right now. But went to mass not too long ago. That was pretty sick. I actually really enjoyed that. Mass was cool. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Um, so I very much enjoyed that. Definitely something I want to attend significantly more often. Um, just because it's like, why wouldn't I? There's no downsides, and I only benefit from it, and it makes me happy. It makes me feel good. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. I don't know, man. I just think I'm only going up from here. And right now I'm kind of in a very scary spot. You know, quitting my job, no additional income coming in except for the one that is coming from the client. And I literally am flying to Ohio for my cousin's birthday on the 9th. My mom's birthday is on the 8th. I'm going to be gone for 10 days. And then I come back and well, I'm not going to be working on my job. So, yeah. And then we're just entering season. My checks were looking fat, dude. They were looking pretty good. Not that, you know, it's a crazy amount, but like for a restaurant, I was making $2,000 roughly per check during season. So things were going pretty good. Now that's not the case. We closed down for like 2 3 days out of the week, significantly less days than I'm working. I'm getting like $900 to $1,000 per check. Not good. So that sucks. But anyways, I'm gonna be quitting that, and yeah. So I'm trying to light a fire underneath my ass, and unfortunately, to a degree, I'm getting a bit of a reward, which is taking a trip out before putting in the work. But I'm gonna try to make both work. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, these videos are primarily just for myself. Um, well, they are just for myself. I don't think anyone ever is going to come across these, and I kind of, to a degree, hope they don't. I kind of just want like this nice little like journal, if you will, like almost like a yeah, it's just kind of like video journaling, if you will, like where I'm at mentally, what I'm thinking, all of that shit. And it's nice. It's nice to just kind of speak about shit, speak my mind, speak how I feel. Even if the videos are like 37 minutes long. Wow, that's yikes. It's still, I don't know, it's still something. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that. That's where I'm at. That's how I feel. That's where I'm going. Hopefully, the next video I make is me being super excited that I closed a client. Um, and that I'm making a lot of money. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully, man. So, yeah, we'll see where I'm at. I talked a lot. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I really gotta lock in. Tell myself that all the time. But I really need to. I really need to. All right, well, yeah, that's me. um, it's me. I'm sure I could yap on for another fucking 40 minutes, but there's no point. There's no point. Alrighty, well, later. Um, yeah, hopefully everything goes well. If not, oopsie daisy. And if I'm watching this and I'm making 5K already per month, solid. I know it's not much, but it's still enough to completely fully subsidize my income and for what it is that I'm currently doing, and the degree of fulfillment that I have to do is like so minimal that it's like I'm basically not even working. So hopefully I'm at that position. Hopefully I'm at that point. Yeah. Alrighty. Later.